JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, 1 dead, 3 injured after shooting Spring Lilliput, St. James. 1 man was shot dead while 3 others were left nursing gunshot wounds after gunmen went on a rampage in Lilliput, St. James on Saturday evening. According to police sources, the incident took place at approximately 7 p.m. at a community shop. That is Cedric Brown, otherwise called Simple, of a Lilliput address. Among the injured are a 34-year-old man, a 51-year-old woman, and a 58-year-old man. Unconfirmed reports are that the group of residents were standing at the shop when they were ambushed by gunmen who fired at them. They were taken to the hospital, where Brown was pronounced dead. The Barretown police are investigating. Counsel for the Rosal Division, where Lilliput is located, Anthony Murray, condemned the shootings. Murray, who represents the ruling Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, shared that he has been calling for more boots on the ground in his division since last year. I'm very concerned as it relates to the increase in the shooting and killing in my area. I must say also that prior to this escalation in shooting, I had reached out to the relevant authorities seeking intervention and asking for some level of proactivity. I know we're seeing where we have weekly shootings and killings in my division, and it is really a concern, Murray said. I know it is a concern that we're having an increase in crime and violence nationally. But if there was some level of proactivity, this could have been prevented and lives would have been saved in Lilliput last night, he added. Pointing out that his division has been plagued with shooting incidents, the council is begging for additional intervention by members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF. Over the last week, we have had more than 5 shootings between Spot Valley and Lilliput. It is really getting out of hand, and I'm going to ask that curfews be implemented. Our police come in regularly to do searches, but something needs to be done, Murray said. And I think this needs to be done with some level of force and alacrity, because we need to save lives, the Rosal Division councillor added. Just last week, 62-year-old Royston Richards, otherwise called Scabba, was shot and killed by unknown assailants in the neighboring Spot Valley. According to police reports, Richards, who contested the East Central St. James political seat as an independent candidate in the 2012 general election, was pounced upon by gunmen on January 4 while in his community. The council further argued that his previous calls to the JCF for more policing in his division fell on deaf ears. Firearm and ammunition seized in St. James, 3 in custody. 3 people, including a female, were taken into police custody following the seizure of 1 Glock pistol with a magazine containing 1 9mm cartridge during a joint police-military operation in Providence Heights, St. James, on Sunday. Reports from the Montego Bay Police are that between the hours of 5:30 and 6:45 a.m., a team was conducting operations in the community when a house occupied by the 3 was searched and the weapon found. They were subsequently arrested pending further investigations. Another man killed in Ocherius, St. Anne. The resort town of Ocherius in St. Anne has been rocked by another murder after a man was gunned down in the community of Mansfield Heights on Thursday night. That is 43-year-old Troy Stewart. It is alleged Stewart was engaged in a game sometime after 8 p.m. in Mansfield Heights in Ocherius when he was pounced upon by an armed man who shot him several times. Stewart reportedly died at the scene while the gunman escaped in a waiting motor vehicle. There were no reports of further injuries stemming from the gun attack. Stewart's killing came 2 days after the shooting death of 51-year-old Patrick Banner Smalling in the Ocherius Transportation Center. According to police reports, Smalling was sitting at the entrance of his shop about 5:50 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon when an armed man walked up and shot him. He was pronounced dead at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital. Investigations are ongoing into the murders that rattled the town this week. Body found in Rio Cobre. The police removed the body of a man from the Rio Cobre on Sunday in the vicinity of the Iron Bridge in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. The deceased is suspected to be a 31-year-old laborer, Stephen Grant, of Beacon Hill and Winters Park addresses. Grant was last seen alive on Thursday, and a missing persons report had been filed in relation to his disappearance. His body was identified by individuals reported to be relatives who gathered at the Iron Bridge. However, no official report has been released by the police confirming his identity. The police have not established a motive for his death. The body has since been removed by workers assigned to a funeral home. Argument done. Holness says no more lockdowns. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has declared that the country will face no more lockdowns. Tensions were high ahead of this morning's briefing, as many anticipated that Holness would again impose more tightened curfew measures amid a fourth wave of the coronavirus. Holness, while addressing a press briefing on Sunday, said he has gone overboard to say that we are not going back to lockdowns and urged Jamaicans to be calm.
I have been very clear in Parliament, very clear, absolutely gone overboard to say we are not going back to lockdown. So be calm. And I've said what the strategy is. It is now in your hands. Go and take the vaccine. That is the strategy. We can't hold it down and put an eagle in your hand. If you get sick, you will take that responsibility. There is an option. We have vaccines all over the place. We have sites all over the place. I don't hear one person complain that they can't get the vaccine anywhere. Go and get vaccinated. Argument done.
Jamaica on Friday reported 1,593 new COVID-19 cases, a new record high for the island since the start of the pandemic. Friday's numbers marked the third consecutive day the country recorded more than 1,000 positive cases. There are now 7,229 confirmed active COVID cases on the island. Zones are imposed in Parade Gardens, Kingston. A zone of special operations zones has been imposed in Parade Gardens in Kingston. In making the announcement at a press conference this morning, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said the security measure will be in place for 60 days. Holness said the zones is aimed at restoring peace and order to the area.
At dawn today, the Jamaica Defence Force and the Jamaica Constabulary Force deployed to sections of the Parade Gardens community ahead of this morning's declaration of a zone of special operations. The boundaries for this zone is as follows. In the north, beginning at the intersection of East Street and East Queen Street, the boundary extends in an easterly direction along East Queen Street to the intersection of Lower South Camp Road. In the east, the boundary then extends southerly along Lower South Camp Road to the intersection with Harbour Street. In the south, continuing from the intersection with Harbour Street, the boundary extends westerly along Harbour Street to the intersection with East Queen Street. In the west, the boundary then extends in another direction along East Street and terminates at the intersection with East Queen Street. The zone of special operations will give the security forces temporary, certainly the JDF, temporary additional powers of search, arrest, and detention. We believe this is necessary in order to give the security forces the space necessary to carry out the operational tasks that will be required to help bring a sense of normalcy to the community.
1,499 new COVID-19 cases reported, 4 more deaths. Jamaica on Saturday reported 1,499 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the total number of confirmed cases reported on the island to 102,505. According to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the country also reported 4 virus-related deaths. The death toll since the start of the pandemic now stands at 2,499. Of the newly reported cases, there were 869 females and 579 males with ages ranging from 1 day to 108 years. The cases were recorded in Clarendon, 37, Hanover, 25, Kingston and St. Andrew, 480, Manchester, 56, Portland, 67, St. Anne, 57, St. Catherine, 329, St. Elizabeth, 42, St. James, 172, St. Mary, 70, St. Thomas, 51, Trelawney, 6, and Westmoreland, 57. This is the 4th consecutive day that the country has recorded over 1,000 new COVID-19 cases. Meanwhile, the latest victims are a 23-year-old female from Westmoreland, a 64-year-old female from St. Catherine, a 97-year-old male from St. Catherine, and a 75-year-old female from Kingston and St. Andrew. 3 of the deaths occurred between February and August 2021, but were only recently confirmed. The fourth occurred on January 6, 2022. The country also recorded 86 new recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 66,483. The country's positivity rate now stands at 48.9%. There are 8,300 confirmed active cases on the island. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.